Good morning. Well, I would say ladies and gentlemen, but I'm pretty sure there's like 3 girls that watch my videos. So the few of you ladies and mostly gents, welcome back to another video. I just want to thank you for taking some time out of your day to hang out with me here on my dinky little channel. So if you guys have been keeping up with the videos, I'm kind of just bouncing around lately, content-wise, on the jobs that I'm getting in, like any sort of, my channel is basically about my day-to-day life, just more revolving around cars and friends for the most part. And right now my day-to-day life is trying to make as much money as possible now that I just moved into the shop space, obviously. So hopefully you guys are sticking around, hopefully you guys are enjoying the content. I'm trying to get creative with it so that way it stays entertaining, because trust me, it is hard to make content and it's hard to stay consistent when you don't have your own stuff to film. Because right now, like the S2000, other than like basic services like oil change and tranny flush and stuff, there's nothing it needs, and there's nothing I can really do to it at the moment because everything for S2000s is expensive. And as for the Integra, the next thing we're doing is wiring up more power to the fuel pump whenever Doge gets some time. But otherwise, the Integra kind of just has to chill. It's midsummer in Arizona, so turbo cars are no fun out here this time of year. No AC, heat soaking the piss out of everything. It's just not worth risking blowing the motor up. So I mean, I'll start it, idle it a little bit, but at the moment I don't have the money to freely put into the Integra. So basically every penny I get right now, because I'm getting ready to leave my day job here soon, which I've only been at for a few months part-time as I was building to get into here. And now that I'm in here, I'm trying to figure out the the logistics, the legalities, trying to get LLC running or get that ball rolling, trying to figure out any sort of permits I may have to use. I don't know, there's just so much to it. And this is all stuff that I'm learning by myself. I do have some friends, but I don't have friends that are like business orientated. I mean, Efren and Javi are doing their thing, but they're learning right along beside me. They're just one step ahead. They just filed their LLC. But theirs is a bit different in terms of a business sense because they're just doing tint and PPF. It's very low liability. Granted, I'm not doing the most high risk stuff. It's not like I'm building 12-point roll cages for whatever. Like, I'm trying to limit myself in the short term until I can figure this out. So like recently I had a guy asking for some fuel line work, and I told him, sorry dude, just like I'd love to, but I don't feel comfortable right now because that's a high liability. If I mess that up, car catches on fire, I'm dead. I'm done. So until I get some sort of LLC sorted, then I can get business insurance, do all that. But it's just a learning curve. So if any of you guys have had your own business, I know one of you guys is in the comments on my last video talking and trying to be helpful. Appreciate that. So if anybody else has any real solid information, especially if you're an Arizona local, you have, I don't know, I don't think I need a lawyer, but like a financial advisor, maybe a business advisor. I don't know what I need. I'm learning all of this as I go. So if you guys have any advice on how to go about doing everything, because I know there's tricky things to doing all of this because obviously EPA stuff, and then there's like legalities with doing aftermarket mods on cars as like a shop, but I'm not really a shop. I mean, I am, but I'm not. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to stand by this whole legality as this is my YouTube workspace, and I just happen to do work out of it on cars. So I don't know. I don't know. I've been trying to read, I've been trying to learn, I just don't understand a lot of what I'm seeing, and I really just need somebody in person that I can pluck their brain with that knows all of this and has either been here or knows what to do. But anyway, so enough babbling on. I'm sorry if you guys didn't enjoy that part, but hopefully you guys are sticking with me. So right here we have this RSX back. If you don't remember, this was on the channel probably, I'd say 2-3 months ago. So this is I want to say it's a built K24 20. Maybe. How do you open this? There we go. So pretty sure this is a built motor. Well, I know it's a built motor. I just don't remember if it's a 24, 20, 20, or a 24 or whatever. But this dude has got some work into it. So he's literally, every part of this car has been touched. I mean, built motor, AC relocation, tuck kit, suspension, bushings, control arms, etc., etc. Basically everything but the radiator, it looks like, but even the hoses. So I built the 3-inch stainless exhaust on this one before. Car was not running, he had some issues, finally got the motor sorted, and now he's in here. So we're just gonna do a short ram intake, kicking it down by the frame rail. just for simplicity's sake, because he is a bit on a budget right now. He just needs something that isn't that. So that's what we're gonna do, make something quick and easy for him, make a couple bucks, and then he's gonna come back probably in like a month, because he is concerned right now about monsoon season, and this year does not seem to be like a drought. So he's concerned that if he does a cold air right now, this is gonna be primarily his daily, so he doesn't want to suck up water, which is totally understandable. And we can always build shielding around it and stuff, and he's gonna run a bumper and all that. But you know, whatever. I mean, I get people's budgets. I'm on a budget right now. I just said that. So if his budget is not for a full cold air right now, a couple $100, then so be it. So we're gonna build him a short ram, and then I also have a fellow that I've worked on his stuff before a few times on the channel. He's dropping off a valve cover for some shaving and for some AN fittings. So that is on the way. So now that this video has been very talky so far, I apologize for the extended intro. Thanks for hanging out. I again can't even express how truly grateful I am to even be in this little shop space, have like the lift especially, and hopefully you guys can continue to support. And again, if you guys want to help support the channel, this is one of my stained obviously, but this is one of the CSYT ChrisSadowski YouTube channel shirts. I have more the coffee guy merch. I have, you know, the Integra shirts. All that's on the Big Cartel, as well as my DA bumper bars, the Del Sol roof braces, etc., etc. Thank you, appreciate you, love you, bye. Something else he'd asked me to do is his hood isn't shutting because the K24 setup. So he asked me to trim the hood skeleton a little bit, so that's what we're gonna do. Thankfully he has the fender off, so I should be able to see in here pretty easy. So, looks like we're clearing the valve cover. It looks like it's hitting the RBC a little bit, so. Trim a bit off the front there, and you know, I think we should be okay. He's really only hitting right about here, so play it safe. We're gonna cut basically from, we'll say, this line across, sorry, from right under the sticker down, cut that area, and it did look like this was going to be contacting right around here somewhere, so I don't know. I mean, you can bend this thing down a little bit, you just got to be careful with it. Like I've seen people take a screwdriver, stick it in there, and use a little bit of leverage, so I may try and do that for him, so that way we don't have to cut more of the hood than needed. But yeah, for now, I'm just going to start with just this little bit right here. So I got it all trimmed out just right here and right here. Got this bent down a little bit, but it's still not closing, and I'm 99% sure that nothing is hitting, because I even put silicone goo stuff on things that I thought were hitting, closed the hood, had nothing on the hood. So I'm pretty sure his hood latch is just damaged, or I don't know, because I know that the RSXs and the EP3s always have issues with the hood latches. Usually it's with this piece, but it just doesn't seem like the spring mechanism is like working to like shut it. So I don't know, the dude's gonna be here in a little bit anyway, so I'm just gonna, I don't know, see what I can work out with him. But in the meantime, I gotta get cracking on this valve cover. So basically what we're doing is adding 2 AN fittings and shaving this little guy right here. It should be pretty easy, so I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, just start getting cracking on this. finally figured out the trick to doing valve cover fittings. Because normally, if you guys have ever welded them, you would know that, I mean, obviously aluminum is finicky to weld because of just its properties. But valve covers suck because you get all that baked in oil no matter how well you clean it. Plus it's a cast, so you got other cheap metals in there, you got sand, you got whatever else is used to make the casting. But you know what? I got some pretty good looking welds on there, and you know what the trick is patience. So normally, I mean, I like to just try and run through my welds. I usually run hot and fast for the most part on TIG. But I have learned, I'm running it hot. I got 115 amps on the machine right now. I'm not using the full thing other than to start the arc. But in general, I definitely found that you gotta be patient. You gotta let the machine do the work. I have my cleaning action right now at about 40%. Normally I keep it around 30. Just move slower. Let it clean, let it bring all the crap to the top, and then add a dab, let it bring the crap out, and after you see the shiny silver metal, keep adding. Keep moving. When you see floaties, chill, let it do its thing, move on from there. But we got some beautiful looking valve cover fittings. I am very stoked on how those look. I just gotta finish the shave. Like I welded it, I just gotta clean it up now. And then this valve cover's done, we can kick it out the door and make some more money. It's been like 2 days now since that last clip. So finished up that job, valve cover stuff, that was all good to go. So now it's 4th of July today, and you know, I don't really do much for holidays, so I just work. So today I've got to try and finish recreating this intake out of aluminum. So this is a stock 8th gen, so this would be very, very easy if I had a stock car here, but I just got this. So my main issue is, like, I already traced it, I've already got the angles figured out. The concern is, like, the ends here are where clamps go, because this slides over the throttle body, so it's like I gotta try and make this and then cut it really short. And then the other issue is I don't have a bead roller to get that bead rolled edge, so it's gonna be very, very I mean, granted, it is just an air intake, so it's not gonna be bad if there's just a silicone coupler on each end or whatever. So I don't know, it's gonna be tricky and whatever. Hopefully the guy's okay with it, but I'm trying to recreate it the best I can. So I kind of traced it out here on the table. That would help me figure out my angles. So this one was like a 26 degree, this one's a 45, with a 2.5 to 3 inch transition in the middle. So I was waiting because I started this the other day, but I didn't have any 3 inch, so I brought some 3 inch material from home. So yeah, I'm gonna try and figure this out. Should just be adding the 45 off the 3 inch here, and then, you know, trim it to fit, and then add the 2 ports there, and then drill and weld the mass airflow sensor port somewhere around here. I mean, this looks pretty simple, but it's actually pretty difficult for me at the moment. Like, I'm just so used to building things to the cars. So I think this is pretty much orientated right. I've got this side obviously taped together right now. Trying to match this because it has the flex bellows is a little bit trickier because it's obviously rubber, so it's not resting in its like installed position. So I'm kind of just trying to get the general shape here, and I've pretty much got it. I mean, it's like right there. So looking at it, I looked at some pictures. This center line here is basically like top right or whatever you would, upside, right side up. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. So basically, you know, just kind of 26 degree up a few inches, which would be that length, and then just 45s kind of over the left. So it's looking pretty good to me, to be honest. So I think I'm gonna just go ahead and lay some tack welds, and then, I mean, I can probably just weld it, and then I can just add the provisions for that, and then the mass airflow sensor. So yeah, looking in the mass airflow sensor on the stock box is usually somewhere up here. I don't know that it makes a huge difference, but I do know that it probably should be closer to the air filter than the throttle body, because I know there's sometimes issues with that. But yeah, so I don't know. Simple yet hard. I don't know, whatever. All in the name of learning. Hopefully it fits good and the guy doesn't have any issues, or if it fits a little rough, hopefully he's able to kind of like fake the funk with just like the couplers or whatever. So I do have 2.5 and 3 inch coupler. I'll obviously send out with him in case he doesn't. But my main concern is, like, I just really need to get a bead roller, but they're not cheap for ones that actually work, and I really can't afford that right now. So I just hate leaving unfinished work like that, because to me the bead roll is just that extra touch of professionalism. and in a turbo application where sometimes you don't have the space to weld a bead at the end or weld another bead roll section on, because I like to do that, cut the bead roll off another piece and weld it on. But if you don't have enough room, because you can't have the weld right behind the bead roll, because then it just kind of like, I don't know, it doesn't work well. So that's definitely one of the tools I'm saving up for. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and tack this thing up, see what we're looking like. Got the welding done, it's looking pretty nice. Focusing more on puddle control lately. But so if you guys have any curiosity as to what I use to do the hose ports, so I just went to, I got this in my metal supply store, but you can get it at Home Depot as well. This is just you know, aluminum rod tube technically, because rod is solid. Yeah, so this is, I believe, 1/2 inch inner diameter, and then I have slightly smaller, which is over here, which would be, let's say, 1/2 inch outer diameter, 1/4 inch inner diameter, somewhere around there. But yeah, basically it just kind of replicates the stock hose ports. So yeah, simple. So I just got my holes marked, 2 little black dots on there. I don't know if you can see them, but I'm gonna drill those out really quick, and then I can weld those on and then do the mass airflow sensor, which is one of these. I buy these online. There's a few different sellers that make them. Yeah, they're just billet aluminum ones. So they do have an arrow signifying the direction of flow. So in this case, this one's contoured mint, so it just sits right on there like that. You drill your hole, weld the edges. Goes good. I've done a few of those. I like them. So I just finished this thing up. So this is looking pretty good so far. It's, like I said, so hard to get this totally perfect. So I mean, we're just about there. So the mass airflow sensor on this one obviously was not part of it. That's why he needed me to add it. But I'm using the coupler as, let me zoom you out a little bit. So I'm using the couplers as a way to kind of fake the rest of the distance. So you can see up top I'm a little short because, like I said before, this portion up here is where it actually goes onto the air box. Right here is the throttle body. So that's why I'm using a 2.5 inch coupler on this end. I do have a 3 inch coupler at home that I will send with him, but we're really close. And then he can trim up the coupler if he needs to. Everything's welded on. We got our port here, port there, mass airflow here. So we're all good to go. This thing is looking pretty good. I'm just gonna add my tag to it and then wrap it up. All right, intake's looking pretty minty now. So one of the things I've been wanting to start doing is doing a little bit of polishing to my parts, like smaller parts like this or downpipes. I know it doesn't last unless you maintain the polish. So just as more to like add that sense of whatever to my product, the niceness, and just keep other parts clean that I have. So I went and bought a bench grinder. I've been needing one anyway, but my idea is to have a nylon wire wheel on the one side. The nylon wire wheel is like my little cheat code for cleaning up powder coated parts like intake tube or intercooler piping. When people bring me piping to use that is powder coated, like from eBay, it sucks buttholes to freaking clean up and weld, especially when you're doing it by hand with a drill. So I have been wanting to get a bench grinder with a wire wheel, a nylon wire wheel, because nylon doesn't dig into the aluminum like a normal one does. And then the other end, I'm just gonna put a little polishing pad on there just to clean up little parts like that, make it shine, make it look a little nice. So, yep, more shop tools. So, got a Bauer tabletop grinder thingy, whatever, and then I got a little stand for it. So I'm gonna go ahead and set those things up really quick and try and see if I can polish this part up a little bit. Make it look just a little bit better before we get ready to send it out. I think this is how you install this thing. I've never installed a polishing pad on these things before, but I think it is gonna be okay. So let's plug it in and test it out. I also got these different polishing compound things from Harbor Freight. So one of them says it's more for aluminum and stuff. The other one says it's for copper, brass, stainless steel, and steel. So yeah, I'll give it a shot. They had good reviews. Okay, so I got the stand pretty much finished up. I made the mistake of not paying attention to which way this thing orientates because of the block that it bolts to. So now it's kind of sitting off to the side. It'll still work just fine. I'm just concerned about later on in the future doing multiple bends at different angles that I might end up pulling it through and it might end up like coming in contact over here somehow. But I'll burn that bridge when I get to it. So in the meantime, she's just cleaning up like the surface rust that's been on it from the rainstorms we've had lately. And in the meantime, I'm going to be welding up this swag off-road kit for it. So this is the bracket that's going to be attaching the hydraulic ram to it. So essentially, I weld this all up, weld the joints. They do a really good job of bending this all up for you. Beautiful. And you stick the ram through there. This kind of clamps it like that. They give you hardware to bolt through it. And then these are, you know, part of it. They give you instructions. These are also the other two brackets. They give you some dowels to replace and a spacer pin for the RAM itself. So yeah, I've seen some videos and it looks pretty straightforward, so I'm gonna give it my best attempt. Looking pretty good so far. So trying to follow the instructions, it's pretty simple, but it's also something you don't want to weld all the way up and then find out you did it wrong, because then you gotta buy another one or grind it up and somehow clean it. So yeah, thankfully they do give you locating pins, like cutouts and stuff, for these ears to sit in, so that's good. Got the pins centered. I did basically the bushing thickness on each side, so it's just a hair thicker on the side, but that really I don't think should be an issue, but it's only tacked, so if it really is an issue, I can go ahead and break this free. So it does go inside in between the ears, but you do have a little bit of slop, so I think we'll be okay. Worst case, I just shave a hair off, but yeah, we're like 99% centered in there, because I mean, yeah, it's minuscule. It's like a 1/16 of an inch, if anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and weld this thing up, and then we should be able to start fitting it together. So I got this thing pretty much all just about ready to go. Like, this is all welded up, this is bolted on. I just gotta finish putting the piece in here. But my freaking luck never seems to be in my favor. So I got one of these 8-ton air-assisted hydraulic ram things from Northern Tool, and just to find out that this thing's bad right out of the box. And after going through some of the reviews on the Swag Off-Road kit, I found in some of those reviews they were saying that they also had bad rams from Northern Tool right out of the box. So now I'm kind of screwed, because one of you guys ordered a bumper bar, so now I was going to tackle that Wednesday, which is the day after tomorrow, because I was trying to get this thing working tonight, and now that's postponed a few days. I do have the ram that's off my engine hoist at the house. That's basically all this is an engine hoist ram. So the only difference is this one's pneumatic. So I can still operate the bender if I assemble this as a manual unit, and then I can just unbolt the ram and swap it out once the new one comes in. So I'm gonna try that. If it's the right size, it has to be an 80mm. Some of the eBay and Amazon ones are 84mm outside bore size. I'm just flustered, but anyways, guys, you know, I'm just gonna cut this video off here. We've done a little of everything, and unfortunately we gotta end it on a incomplete bummer note. So if you guys did enjoy the video, if you like just hanging out, let me know in the comments down below. If you're new to the channel, hopefully you've considered subscribing. If you want to help support the channel, so that way I can keep on making videos and afford to take my own projects and get more stuff done on my channel instead of just, you know, customer cars and such, then yeah, you know how to do that. You can hit the big cartel, you can use the Amazon affiliate links. You can just click on one of those links and then go buy something else while you're using that link, because it like puts a cookie in your browser and it still helps me out. So that'd be awesome. Anyways, guys, do what you love, think about the rest. Hopefully you're having a better evening than I am now at this point, because I'm just so frustrated, but we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.